Hello, I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Caroline, and we're interior designers. More and more people are asking us about what we do and how we do it.
Which brings us to our new design adventure, the Design Duet. Join us as we discuss the ins and outs and the ups and downs of interior design. Our next podcast is a special podcast about two dynamic female Australian business owners who are forward-thinking, have an incredible work ethic, and are passionate about what they do and create. Their unique furniture collections are made for function, durability, and with longevity in mind.
Zuster pieces are generational, as is the business. In fact, 5 generations long. We can't wait for you to listen to this special interview with Fleur and Willie from Zuster. Well, maybe we'll start with you, Willie.
Sure.
Can you explain what you do in the business?
So I'm the creative director of Zuster. So I do all the designing and everything, and then I've got a team of people as well that help me sort of make it all happen in a way. So I've got somebody that helps me with drawings, and then I've got another person who actually makes things all the time. So I'll come up with a detail, he'll run downstairs, make the detail, come back upstairs, and then it actually flows from there. So it's actually incredible to work from the factory because you've got the team all around you. So you can actually start designing something and within no time it's actually a product you can sell. So we prototype everything quite a few times as well. And if it's not quite right, we sort of move on. But, yeah, it's a really good – and it's a great atmosphere. I mean, I love working with the timber and with the people, and it's really, really fantastic. I don't spend that much time at the showroom anymore. So I'm just about based at our manufacturing full time. So
amazing.
No, it's really
You're smiling,
good.
so you must enjoy it.
No, it's good. It's really a lot of fun, and I'm still passionate about it even after all these years.
Yeah.
It's really good fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
It's almost a hobby.
Oh.
And what about you, Fleur? What do you do in the business?
So I'm managing director, so I look after everything financial, marketing. I work really closely with Willie as well. We talk through everything every day. So we've got quite a big team at the factory across 5 factories. So
Wow.
4 factories in the one street and then a warehouse in another street. So quite a big team of cabinet makers, spray painters, upholsterers. We've got an upholstery factory, and then the showroom. So I manage all of the team. I love the numbers too. So I'm our company accountant. So I do all of the financial budgets and, our results against budgets. So I look at that every day. I do a lot of the reporting on, what's selling, what's doing well. Willie bounces off me, I guess, and I get to kind of have my say on I like it or don't like it or, that sort of thing, because I love the creative process as well. But our roles are very different because Willie's, very creative, unbelievably talented. And then I really feel comfortable on that business side, and I really love, growing a business, building a brand. That's really where my passion lies.
How often would you speak to each other in a day or communicate?
Many times.
Probably 10 times a day.
Yeah. But we're actually really lucky that we've got the different interests as well. They just combine together so well. Like it'd be different if we both wanted to do the design or both wanted to do the financial side of things. We've just been incredibly lucky that, we've got our own pieces, areas that we like.
Can you, one of you or both of you, tell us a little bit about the history of your business and where are you actually located?
We're located in Thomastown. And I think the business began when we were actually teenagers because we had a little business going.
I've always been entrepreneurial.
A couple of businesses
All right,
going there.
tell us what it is.
So Dad had a building business and he had a factory where he built the kitchens and the window frames and all that sort of thing. So he was always really busy in his building business. So whenever someone needed a new bed or a wardrobe, they'd come to me. I was the one that would design it for them. So we're one of 4 sisters actually. And so I ended up designing all bits and pieces, and then it became a bit of a business. So I designed like a coffee table or whatever, and then Fleur would sell the old one through the trading post.
The trading post.
I know, we're showing our age, but I always have loved that thrill of a sale and the opportunity. Like, if there's a spare coffee table, then, we can do something with that. So, and we had this little kind of deal going on, and we grew up with horses as well. So we used to ride horses and compete. And then we started, Dad made this sort of holster for the manure from the stable. So then we started selling the manure.
We used to like buy horses and train them and sell them too. So we've always had a little bit of stuff going on. Yeah. But then after I finished school, he still had the factory and he was sort of closing down his business. And anyway, so I designed a range of furniture and I took it to a shop in Hawthorne, Ziggurat.
Yeah,
the Ziggurat.
yeah.
With Paul Fetterplace. He was a lovely guy. Anyway, I was so nervous and I had it presented like a school project with my photos and everything. And I'm like, oh, this is it. And he looked at it and he said, oh, it's amazing. I'll take it all. And he said, and I've got 5 friends that have also got stores. So that's where it sort of began. So
Fantastic.
Then it really started. And I was studying furniture technology at RMIT at the same time,
Right.
which is also an excellent course.
So that was back in 94. So
Yeah.
early on,
Yeah.
So what does Zuster actually mean?
So it means sister in Dutch. And I guess it's a nod to our Dutch heritage. Dad's Dutch. And we're 5th generation of designers. Dad was a builder designer. His father was. So we've always been immersed in design and talking about design. Dad always, talked about good quality. So if they were buying anything for the house, he'd always buy the best quality that would last. And he's amazing with construction, quality and craftsmanship. And so we've learned a lot from him. It's very much in our DNA, the way we've grown up and lived in a beautiful house that a lot of his houses became heritage listed, and we always had people sort of driving past our house because it was very mid-century modern,
Yes.
Interesting. So, we've always really valued design and it's really been part of who we are.
Amazing.
So what do you think is unique about your business?
I think the fact that we actually manufacture here in Melbourne and design in Melbourne and can customise.
And our design is very unique, like what Willie designs and it just amazes me every season, the rate in which she designs. Like, we're almost 30 years in business now. And so every year there's at least one new collection of, 8 or 10 pieces. Often we're doing 2 and lately we've been doing sort of 3 or 4 collections. And so she's just designing all the time and, amazing and new trends that, you're seeing replicated down the track.
But,
Yeah.
But I think it's more like fashion now, furniture. Like in the past, you could actually design ranges and they could stick around for like 3 or 4 years. But now people are expecting to see more all the time, more embellished designs and more interesting designs. And you've got to be kind of like really looking at international standards and really trying to do the best that you can possibly do.
I haven't really thought of it like that.
No, neither have I. Really interesting.
It's because of Instagram and everything. I mean, people see everything so
course.
quickly. And if a designer's used your bedside on one project, they can't use it on the next, for instance. So you
so
actually have
true.
to come up with new bedsides so they can keep using whatever. Like that's just an item I'm thinking of. But, you've got to have a, pretty big range.
Up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And tell us, how's your business grown over the years?
So we started in our 20s, very early on, and we were in one of the factories that Dad had. So Dad had a factory that he did his kitchens and wardrobes for his building business. So that's where we started. So Willie started the business and then I was working in fashion and then it took off and it was just so exciting. I got that first phone call when she saw Ziggurat and we were just so excited. So I joined probably a year after it started. And so we had one cabinet maker, Dad, a guy that had worked for Dad for 35 years, and then Dad was helping in the business back then too. And so it was like the 3 of us owners and 2 people making. So it was tiny
And intense.
yeah. And so we had far too many orders, because it just took off, and there was no competition back then. And so, we were in lots of press, like we were in the first ever Inside Out magazine. They did a 12-page spread and, really amazing coverage and support from the industry was incredible. So I went back to uni and I studied accounting and, I didn't finish the course, but I got what I needed out of it,
Got the gist of it.
I got the gist of it.
Sounds like it did.
But, very much to I was out of my depth, in a business, that was huge, like so much demand,
Yes.
And managing the financials and, making ends meet and paying taxes and all of that, at such a young age. And Dad, while he was involved, in the factory, he did sort of step back from the running because it was kind of always like, even as a kid, I've loved that. So it's sort of always my thing. And so in the 20s, it was full on and we were just, designing and keeping up with it. In our 30s, I guess we had children and we worked through that. And, I've always worked while having kids and managed all of that. We're continuously improving in our 40s. We've just kind of kept growing and then now we're in our 50s.
Yeah.
And so, it's grown to one little factory to 5 factories in our showroom, 70 staff. We've just launched in America with Reese bathrooms. So there's a huge collaboration we've been doing. And, just bigger, like continuous improvement every day that's made us big. We sort of surprised because, we grew up in Warrandyte and we just sort of down-to-earth girls, and I think we've surprised a lot of people. They didn't expect a lot of us, I think.
No.
Oh, well, it's inspirational what you've achieved. It is.
Yeah, keeping it real.
Yeah,
I think that's a big part of both of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I've known you for many years, but
Yes.
I feel that's definitely both of you,
What is your design process and philosophy?
Oh, design process is really, I just look at so many images all the time. Like I'm just constantly across sort of a lot of fashion actually, quite a bit of couture, and then also ceramics and shoes and handbags and architecture and all that sort of thing. And I try and hone in on really tiny details of something that I'll see and then I'll just relate that back to furniture. So that's how I do it.
That's beautiful.
You can see it in the pieces actually.
Well, even what you're wearing today, having those little trims.
Embellishments and things,
absolutely.
Exactly. I think it makes it. Yeah. And I try not to sort of look at other designers too much and what they're doing with furniture and everything. I try and reinvent the wheel and try and come up with things that are really different to what everybody else is doing.
So how would you describe your products then?
I think it's clean line with a bit of design detail, maybe a bit of embellishment, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And fashion, it's very fashionable luxury furniture, I guess.
But I try and keep it as classic as I can as well, not too blingy and not too full on. There's just such a fine line because you can go overboard too and then it just looks really terrible. So
you get really into it, I guess.
And your patterns. I think patterns are a really big thing and proportions.
Yeah.
Proportions and pattern is the pattern placed correctly and all that sort of thing.
So you finding you're often paring things back or?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah. Or is that your job over there, Flo?
I'm probably more full on, so I'm like, fling it up.
I think this next question is kind of answered, but how do you keep inspired and come up with ideas for your next range?
It's just really looking around and lifestyle and talking to people and, you have dinners with people, you go out to the city, you go overseas, you're looking around all the time, and even your children. Like my son's 18 and he's really into AI and all that sort of thing. It's just like it's fascinating and you've got to move with how the world is moving. You've got to really look at trends of how people are actually living and where things are going. You've got to be a step ahead all the time. And
so I'll ask the next question. So how do you then select your finishes?
Well, we've got a great range of finishes.
You do.
I'm a bit of a block colour person with, texture, but we just sort of fill in the gaps. If things are changing and, that colour's really popular now, we'll just fill in the gaps. So, but our range of colours and things is pretty broad anyway.
What are your sustainable processes in your business?
So we're fortunate that we own the whole supply chain because we import our own materials and source environmental materials. And so because we manufacture, we've got the materials and we do the whole process through. I think the fact that we have furniture that has got such longevity to it's the complete opposite to fast fashion or fast furniture because the furniture that we produce, lasts for generations and people are moving from home to home and then passing it down to their children. And, Willie and I have pieces in our houses from, 30, 25, 30 years ago. And so, there's the longevity in that. We're very conscious of everything that we produce and the way it's produced, and we reuse a lot of materials, recycle. When we have different boards, the offcuts, we think, what can we make with those offcuts? So we're conscious of it all the time. We also donate a lot of excess materials, like we donate fabrics to women's shelters and just give back as much as we can.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah. So another thing I was going to ask you about is trends. So what do you think is on trend at the moment in furniture design?
I'm sort of feeling like anything goes now. There just seems to be so much pattern and everything and colours together. It seems like a crazy mix of things where it's not minimalist at all. It's not Scandinavian sort of clean line style. It's just putting lots of different things together now. Maybe
that makes me feel really happy when you say that. I think that's always been me.
Absolutely.
Eclectic. But there's a real skill in doing that as well, because, it's not as easy as going, it's a minimalist style, I'm just going to put that table there and the rug. It actually is harder because you do have to make sure that it all does go together, even though it's all really different and eclectic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a favourite piece or collection?
I think I like the embellish cocktail cabinet. It's just got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, it's beautiful. Amazing. And we love what's inside it too.
Do you, Fleur?
Yeah, I love the dining table. I've got, a big dining table, and I've got the Halo cocktail cabinet and wine storage. So my dining room, I just love that room, and I love living with the furniture. I feel like living with furniture that has been so carefully designed and manufactured, it gives off a different energy in your home. And coming home, like often, walk in the door and, had a busy day, but to have a beautiful home with all these well-considered pieces in it, I feel like for me it's been quite life-changing when I renovated my house and finally was able to select what I want rather than, having, whatever's available. I feel really happy that that's the way our customers would live and experience the furniture, because I feel like it does change your life.
Absolutely.
Well
I agree
said.
with you. Yeah. So tell us, who can buy from you and how can people buy from you?
So we've always been, available for interior designers and architects. So that's been the biggest part of our business from the beginning. And so we have a very large list of designers Australia-wide that we work with every day. And we've got a team of girls, interior designers, that look after them. And then we have our store in Hawthorn, which is retail, so buying directly from us, which is a smaller part. And then we wholesale to Reese. So Willie designs a Reese of bathroom vanities and shaving cabinets. And then we manufacture, so we design and manufacture exclusively for Reese, so bathroom exclusive to them. So that's through 170 stores through Australia, and then just launched in April in America. So it's rolling out across America. So it's in 3 stores at the moment.
Awesome.
And then going from there.
Incredible.
Really amazing.
Can you tell us about some of your collaborations? You've done many, and highlights of your collaborations.
So we've got Jackalope down at Mornington Peninsula, and that was with Lewis Lai, who was just a gorgeous developer, such a lovely guy and really talented, creative, very artistic. So he brought a lot of the inspiration to the meetings, and we'd all sit around and have these meetings, and he'd bring pieces from fashion parades and art galleries and all that sort of thing. One stage he came in and he had, from a fashion parade, there was this praying mantis fashion parade, and he said, I want a table that looks like that. So I had to design this lamp table, and it had like the legs and everything that were really fine, and like it was just a fantastic process with a great group of people. So that was a really fun project.
And so we'd meet once a month. So he'd give the brief. Then in the following month, Willie had to design and present what, had been designed. And then the group from Jackalope Hotel. And then we'd present the design, and he would sit there, and then everyone would say, do you like it? Does Lewis like it? And then Lewis wouldn't say anything, but everyone could tell from his body language. And so it'd either be like, Lewis likes it.
We can move on.
Or we might need to rework this.
It was such a fun project.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And then we worked on Melbourne Jet Base, which is a private jet airport. And that was a really great project. And
great person again.
Yeah, really good.
He became quite a mentor to us afterwards. He's a lovely guy.
Yes. Yeah. And Port Arlington Hotel, that was also with a little group.
In COVID.
Yeah.
We designed that in COVID.
Yeah.
So that was kind of tricky, but got
And we've
there.
done a lot of in around boardroom tables, like the boardroom table for Mecca, UNSW, Reese head office. So we do these we did my head office like years ago, anywhere up to 6 metre tables with, cable management, marble inlays, all of that.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Beautiful.
So what would you say? How would you describe a successful business?
I think describing a successful business, one that you actually want to go to every day, so I would consider that very successful. Hopefully the money's there, so you don't have to worry about the financial side of things. And just something that just keeps you kind of pretty inspired, Every single day you just want to go to work and feel happy and be happy in your environment. And then everyone around you is happier,
Absolutely.
It sort of comes from the top, they say.
And we work on sort of 4 pillars. So innovation obviously is really important because we have a design business, and working on new designs but also innovative that they solve something new for people. And integrity, and we know we've dealt with you both for many years. We never leave anyone unhappy, or what we say we're going to do, we do. So integrity is a really huge part of our business. And consistency and discipline, we have had the business a long time, but we go to work every day.
Yeah.
We show up, we, do and through having children, through everything, we've done the same thing for many, many, many years. And then our people, we've got a really amazing team that, become part of our family. And we've had apprentices that have started with us and now are team leaders of the furniture factory and, being able to help young people find a career, because not everyone is academic, and wants to go on to do something at university, to do something, to build something with your hands, and at the end of the day to show you've built this amazing handcrafted furniture is a really rewarding career as well. So be able to give people opportunities to have that sort of career and then promote them through the business to leadership roles and to take on managing people themselves and everything's a really rewarding part of the business as well.
It's just so inspiring, actually.
It really is. Your story is fantastic, girls.
Oh, thank you.
You're just an absolute joy to work with always. We enjoy everything that we do. We just hope and wish that we can put a piece of Zuster in every project that we have.
Or in our own home.
Exactly. Well, we've done a bit of both, I think.
Yeah.
So we thank you for your time, and you're just amazing and very inspirational, actually, and to, have this dynamic business, you two women.
Run by females.
Exactly. It's just incredible. And,
And you're still smiling.
Exactly. and laughing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show. If you'd like to get in touch, email us on thedesignduet@gmail.com or DM us on our Instagram page, The Design Duet.